How are you?
Good. It's a good day so far. All right. So, basically, Greg and Javante gave me some background information, and you wanted to center this around crystal meth. And so, my first question is, how were you introduced to crystal meth?
First of all, it wasn't just crystal meth. I think I told him like it was about just surviving the addiction of crystal meth, and then working through anxiety and depression, being trans, and how I'm like a living testament of surviving because
Okay. All right, we can definitely.
So how was I first introduced to crystal meth? From a boy.
Okay.
A man introduced you to it, actually.
Okay. And what, had you heard about the dangers of it before kind of like trying it?
When I first tried it was about, my first experience with crystal meth was about, I'm going to say, like 15 years ago. I was young. I was like 18.
Okay.
And really, I was a little naive to it. I didn't know too much about it. I didn't hear any risks or any bad things. He basically told me, we smoke weed, we pop X pills. This is a little better than an X pill. We just have wonder, we have an explosive time in the bed. If you just try this. And because I thought the boy loved me, I was at that age, I was 18, so I was eager for the attention of a man. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted a man to find me attractive. I wanted to have a man be infatuated with who I am and made me feel feminine. So this man wanted me to do that, and that made me look more appealing in his eyes. I was totally up for it at that time.
Okay. All right. And so between kind of 18 and the incident where you were fighting for your life, how many years had passed between that?
About 15. I'm 30. I'll be 30. I'm 34
okay.
This month. Next month. So about 15 years. So I did it from 18 to 20, and then I saw somebody overdose, and I stopped. And then so I was 25 after that when I did it again, and that's because I was in a very long relationship and I was in love with this guy, and when it comes to men, I believe some trans people are very vulnerable and weak when it comes to men, and especially betrayed or a straight guy, So I had recently broke up with this guy when I was 25, and I was very hurt and depressed and heartbroken because I thought I lost the love of my life. And I also am an escort, so a client came over one day and he asked if it was okay if we partied, and I told him why not. I don't care, anything for me to get my money, So halfway through the session, he was doing the drugs, and he asked me if I wanted some, and I contemplated for a minute. I battled with myself, you can do it, blah, blah, blah. And then I was fuck it, what the hell am I going to look for anyway? The love of my life is gone, X, Y, and Z, and so I did it. And I was on it for a good two years, so 25 to 27. And then one day I woke up and I was I looked at my life, and I was only going out at night. I was canceling appointments with friends. I was finding excuses not to show up to events. So I just stopped. I just stopped one day because I wanted to. And then about not even that long ago, maybe a few months ago, in May I did Long Beach Gay Pride, and I was performing on stage, and I had a wardrobe malfunction. This is my very, I'm gonna cry. This is my very first big production. I had dancers, it's the whole big thing, and reveals and stuff on stage. So a lot of people were rooting for me, and there was like a lot of my friends and family, colleagues, peers would have pride. Obviously, queer men, so family here. And I had a wardrobe malfunction, and I was devastated. I was in tears because I had everybody looking at me, and I couldn't do it. I felt like a failure because my necklace slipped. I continued performing and everything. I put something, I did a great job. I need to practice more, but in myself, I was disappointed. So I got really depressed, and I sequestered myself. And once again, found excuses not to come around. And then right after that, I left home to stay once again with a guy. And the guy, I found out, was doing that and he was hiding it from me. And I was so depressed in my own world and being disappointed with that. I did it with him. And I did it with him for a little while. And then I had a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend now, actually. And I was sneaking and smoking meth when I had clients over or when I was going out halls and stuff like that. And I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression. So I was internalizing that, putting a smile on my face like everything was okay. And, nobody knew. And then we get to the part where I was fighting for my life. I had a lot of back pain. I was just figuring, I'm overstressed. I'm just stressed out. So my nerves are getting tense and stuff. And the whole time not knowing that the toxins, I guess, from the drug were finding, the bacteria was finding a place in, the cleanest part of my body, which was my spine. So because I was, holding it all in, nobody knew I was depressed. Nobody knew I had anxiety. And I just kept internalizing it. And, that kind of stuff, oh my God, I'm going to cry, literally forms toxins in your body. So it was an accumulation of, anxiety, depression that I formed in the abscess on my spine, and I wasn't aware. And one morning I went to use the bathroom, and I couldn't use the restroom. And I couldn't pee, I just couldn't pee. My thighs were a little numb. So I figured nothing's wrong. I was back to sleep. But I still had really bad back pain. I went to the emergency room. Oh my God, I'm just wearing my mouth. Am I doing this right?
Yes, you're fine.
Okay. So, what else happened? So I went to the emergency. They told me, oh, you're being dramatic. There's nothing wrong with you. Trying to see my physician. He told me I just had a really bad anxiety, and he gave me some medication and told me if I started taking this medication, I would probably calm down, the tension will probably release from my back, and I'll be okay. I went home, I took a nap, and I woke up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was completely paralyzed from the waist down, and I couldn't walk.
This was the same day. This was the same day that you went to the emergency room, or how many days after?
It was the next day. It was the next day. The very next day. I went to sleep after I went to the doctor, and I slept all day because I was on fire. And so I woke up at 11, maybe early morning, or late evening. Late afternoon, early. So 11 or 1, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I woke up and I tried to get out of bed, and I couldn't move my legs. And I couldn't walk. And I was scared. I called my boyfriend. And I went to the emergency room again. And they did so many MRIs of my body. They told me this weight stuff. They told me I was too big. And I'm a plus size girl, but I'm not child. I'm not carrying. So they did a few MRIs. They did several CAT scans, and they couldn't find anything wrong with me. They drew blood from me. They drew blood from all parts of my body. And I asked them, I said, would it be because of the mess that this is happening? And they were like, we've never had a case of someone who's become paralyzed like this because of meth. But not to mention, I had, my body was prone to bacteria. Because in my home, I have, because of my anxiety and stuff, I have a fear of bacteria. I have a phobia, a diagnosed phobia of bacteria. I'm a germaphobe to the fullest extent. So I had ionizers that emit ozone into my house. I had, air purifiers. I had humidifiers. I had, multiple devices in every room of my house. So I was literally living in a bubble. And I think that was, I had a hypersensitive thought with bacteria because I was on drugs. And when you're on drugs, you have, there's one thing that, that gets them going. And bacteria was something that bothered me and it left me, anxious. That's another reason why I never went out and stuff, is I was scared to get sick or to touch people because everybody got germs and bacteria. So I was, really, legit, have a phobia. And because of living in that bubble, I was more prone to that experience. So doing the drugs and stuff, yeah, that may have had a part to it. But when I would go outside, because when I went outside and stuff, I was more prone to get bacteria. So if I went to a client's house and they were doing drugs and their house wasn't the most sanitary, my body would, bacteria would attract to me or stuff like that. So it was just the reason that it built up in my spine was I was prone to toxic bacteria because I was so clean, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And so that built up in my spine. I was in the hospital for a month, completely paralyzed, and I'm still learning how to walk, to this day. I have an IV in my arm, and I have the toxins were so bad that I started getting mental disorder, brain problems, because the toxins are in your spine, so they emit through your whole body. Some was going into my blood, some was getting into my brain. So I have I still have anxiety now, and it's worse. So I don't have this phobia. So I used to be a really mean person. I used to be catty as hell. I'll reach you for anything. And now I guess because of the toxins, I don't have that energy. I don't have anger in me, or something's wrong with when people yell. I start crying, and so I have therapy. I go to all the time. I have a physical therapist that I see 3 times a week because I still can't walk. And I was take a breath. You can ask me stuff now because I'm tired of talking.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. I'm sorry that you went through that, but I'm glad that you were able to go to the ER. And so it seems like you're on the road to recovery. So how has therapy been for you? The physical therapy?
Physical therapy it's frustrating. It's frustrating as hell because I'm the kind of girl that loves to walk in heels. Or, I might be fat, but I'm the kind of girl. I'm always on the rush. I'm always on the go. I'm always up and down some stairs or jogging to a car or something, and I no longer have the capability. But physical therapy is draining because simple tasks like twisting your ankle or lifting your knee or even sitting down and standing up. I can't do those things anymore. I'm learning how to do them. I have to learn how to walk on my feet from heel to toe because I don't bend my knee. It's so bad. It's scary. It's scary, but I see the progression, but it frustrates me because these are things you learn I learned this 30 years ago. something so simple as walking, and now I have to relearn it. So it's hard, but it's working.
Okay. Have you heard about the Ed Buck case? So the guy who was recently arrested for having a drug den? And if so, if you've heard about it, what are your thoughts on that case?
On the Ed Buck case, that hits a little close to home for me, because when it comes to Ed Buck, I know who Ed Buck was their client. So Gemmel was my nephew, my gay nephew, and I loved him. I loved Gemmel, and when I heard that, it was heartbreaking. And then I had an ex-boyfriend who got addicted. Coincidentally, one of the ones that I was with that told me, if you love me, don't do this with me. Come to find out, that came because he got addicted to it because of Ed. And that was like the demise of our relationship. Like, I really feel like Ed Buck ruined my life at one point, because the man I was in love with started doing drugs because of Ed, and then beat me. But, he was smart enough to get away, but he's in prison now. But Ed Buck was literally, it's disgusting. I find it disgusting. I find it appalling. To see that it took him so long for them to finally take notice, have him addicted, and it took for a man to not die for them to arrest him. I find it repulsive. I find it appalling, and I think it's disrespectful to the Black gay community, because if those men were white, I believe Ed Buck would have been gone after the first one. But I'm glad he's incarcerated. I hope they, prosecute him to the fullest extent possible.
Okay. Okay. I'm definitely sorry for your loss with Gemmel, and for like the boyfriend that you had who introduced you to it, because he was introduced it by Ed. I mean, that's just like heartbreaking to me. And so it's just so interesting how small the community is, that we just don't know how people.
I've never said this out loud.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God.
So also in recent news, Malik Yoba has come out for being trans attracted, and it has created. Huh?
Just that I've known that for years.
Oh, okay. And so a lot of people in the straight community are kind of like learning more about the trans community. So if you were to be on a panel and you were representing the trans community and talking about what it means to be trans and Black, what would you tell to people who are cisgender and straight about the trans experience, who are learning about it for the first time?
I mean, I would tell them that where I come from, being trans it's not a good thing. I grew up in the hood, so if you were trans, it was a joke, and people made fun of that, and people bullied them and ridiculed them. And I would tell this community, the cisgender community, the Black cisgender community in particular, don't discriminate on these people. Don't discriminate on us. Learn why. Accept why, because especially like cisgender women are very offensive, especially Black women, because we're behind closed doors, dating and sleeping with their men, i.e. Malik Yoba. I feel we were trans attracted for years. I know plenty of women, trans women, who have benefited from him financially. So I would just tell them to be more open, to be more inclusive, and to stop ridiculing, but become more understanding. Because the people that they're making fun of are the people doing their hair, the people doing their makeup, the people in the grocery store, like, they're next to you every day. So why don't I just feel like understand them, be accepting, learn more, because it's not easy. It wasn't easy for us years ago just being black, and it's not easy today us being black and trans.
Okay. Also, there is a Supreme Court case where they're going to hear about someone who transitioned in the workplace and was fired. So the Supreme Court will decide if it's legal to fire someone if they're trans. How difficult is it to find work and stay hired if you are trans and of color?
To be honest, it's very difficult. It's hard. That's why a lot of our trans women resort to sex work, because it's not easy. It's actually, we already got one strike because we're ethnic, like, we're people of color. So that's already one strike. And then if they know you're trans, then they're going to ask the level of education. They're going to actually, have you had work experience? Once an employer finds out that you have transgender experience, they'll find any reason to find an excuse, because it's not accepted. Like, I personally experienced once when I was applying for a job, and the man, I live a kind of stuff life when I was younger. I blend, I'm passable. So I really, I guess I don't, sometimes they find out and sometimes they don't. This particular time, the man was attracted to me, so he was more honed in to me, and he told me he couldn't hire me. And he said I don't have the right qualifications for the job, but, what am I doing later on tonight? So I want to get together, and he wrote his number on the application and gave it back to me. And at that moment, I was defeated, because they look at us and view us as sex objects. They look at us as nothing to be respected. If a man sees a transgender woman, all he sees is an object of sex or a man's sex. So, and that's horrible. But that's one of the hardest things is for us to find words. And that's why so many of us resort to being escorts and streetwalkers.
Okay. Do you think the gay community has failed the trans community?
Failed?
Yeah, failed. Like, could they do more?
I feel that they could do more. I feel like when it comes to LGBTQIA community, it's a bit, we're supposed to be together, Like, I feel like this is one big community and we're supposed to have love. But I feel like once you sell all those letters, that's a subsection. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The lesbians fight for lesbian rights. The gays, they fight for gay rights. The B's, they're trying to people to learn what to play in that day. And we as trans women, we don't get help from none of us get help from any other category within this community, so we help ourselves. But I personally think that it should be all of us. It's 3 musketeers, 12, whatever musketeers, you know what I'm saying? Like, all for one. Like,
yeah.
I feel we need to be totally inclusive and totally encompassing, having the same fight. We're all so long started because of a trans woman. You know what I mean? Like, the Stonewall at the Dread, that's because of a trans woman was being disrespected. Let's never forget that gay rights activist situation was because of women of trans experience. And we need to remember, we need to listen at it like we need to be included, all inclusive. I don't feel like they failed us, but I do feel like we could collectively be more for each other.
Okay. It sounds like you do some like outreach in the trans community. Do you want to talk about that?
Do I do outreach?
Yes.
I don't personally do like work for an organization or any of that stuff, but I've been this way since I was 14 years old. I've been a woman of trans experience for almost 40 years. So, like I said, I think I believe every trans woman is our sister. And it took me a long time to get that. I used to think if you look like a man, girl, goodbye, when I was younger. But experiencing life and being a woman of this experience for almost 20 years, I've learned I can't deny someone their emotions on the inside. And I know what it's like to walk the streets. I know what it's like to not be the most handsome. I know what it's like to be beat up by betrayed because they found out you was a man. Or, I found out what I've been robbed and raped and all of these things. So I personally, the way I outreach is the younger generation, the newer girls, or even my sisters. I'm always there to tell my story and to help them in any way that I possibly can while I'm doing this interview. Like, sometimes I go with my Aunt Stacy, but my Auntie Stacy is such a blessing because I've learned so much from her. Because her story is just like mine. So we go to Santa Monica Boulevard where the girls are escorting and we sell condoms and, tell them, if you're going to do it, be out here doing it. Be safe about it at least. When I see girls who are starting in the fresh transition, I'll tell them what hospital to go to, what clinic to go to, where to go buy hormones, what doctor they should go to, even how to lay your legs down, where to go get lasers, because I feel like every girl should be the best them that they could be. So I don't work for outreach, but that's the way I do that to my trans sisters and my community, is by helping them be the best them that they could be because of what I can teach them, or to help them avoid toxic situations because I really went through it for them. I tell these girls these stories, or I do these things like testing out condoms, because I know what it's like to have an HIV scare, even though I'm negative, bless the Lord, which is rare, because I think if anyone should have it, I should. I've been doing this for so long, and I've risked my life in some situations that I've been favored. But the reason I tell my story, or go out there and have that condoms, or help a girl out in the way that they live, is because I want them to not have to go through the hardships that I went through when I was transitioning and I was younger.
Okay.
I'm crazy. Oh my God. It's weird to hear this stuff said out loud. Do you know that? That's crazy.
I totally get it. Like, sometimes we keep things bottled up inside that we don't have the opportunity to tell them to someone else because I think we try to present our best selves, and sometimes you don't want to burden someone else with everything that's going on with you inside.
Yeah. Or even like what I just told you, like I don't do that. I don't go to someone because I want to say that I've done it. I just go out and do it because I know it needs to be done. Somebody needs to go out there and help some kids. Somebody needs to tell these girls what to look like or how to act and stuff. So I just do it because I know that's what needs to be done. Not for any other reason. Like, I want you to know that this is what I'm doing because I don't really care.
Do you have advice for someone who is, like, let's say someone is out there who's 12 or 13 and they're in the process of transitioning? What advice would you give them?
Well, I can tell them from personal experience. When I was 13 years old, between 7th to 8th grade, I went to my parents, and I had accepting parents. So, in today's society, transgender women and men, transgender men are everywhere. And the resources to transition are at our fingertips in this day and age. And they weren't when I was 12 and 13. So what I would tell them is tell your parents. Tell your parents that this is what you want to do. This is who you are inside. And if you have the right parents who love you, they will do like my mama did and find the outlets and the right avenues to take you. I was at Children's Hospital when I was 14. And I started my transition. So go tell your parents. Live your truth. Be true to who you are. Don't be embarrassed of the person that you are inside. Just find a way to make that person on the inside grow to be the most beautiful person on the outside.
I really like that answer. I have a really good friend who is gay, and we had a conversation about what it's like to be someone who is trans and Black, and how we've seen so many deaths, especially violent deaths, of people who are Black and transgender. Do you think it is like, I don't even know the number that has been released in the media, but so we were having a debate, and he says that it's something that, the way that trans women die, a lot of people die that way. But what is your response to someone who says that, we should not focus on people who are trans who are dying. We should focus on people just everyone who is dying. Do you think that there has been an increase in people who are trans and dying, or just
there's definitely been an increase in trans women's deaths? Okay. There has been a definite increase, and there's been a definite. I just think the reason why we're dying in such large numbers is not because we're careless. It's because this world is mean, and people do things to be spiteful. I've heard the story about the girl who the man knew, that her husband went on a date, he took her out and he just murdered her because she was. I just think it's all horrible. I think they get. It's a separate issue, and it should be a separate cause, because Black lives matter, and that's separate from all lives matter. Trans lives matter, and that's we matter too, and we need to be acknowledged in our entirety. People need to be made aware of these deaths, especially because trans women are popping up in this day and age in such large numbers. Every day there's a new girl who came out and they found themselves, which is beautiful. And every day there's another girl who lost their life just wanting to be who she is. So we need to tell that. We need to voice that every day. There's a march on Saturday. If I could get on my feet and go, I would. Because we need to make this an awareness.
Oh, the one in DC? Is that what you're talking about?
The trans march?
Yes.
There's one everywhere.
Is there one in LA?
There'll be one there. Huh?
There's one in LA?
I do believe so. My sister said, I think there's one in DC. I think it's just the one in DC.
Okay.
Let me ask my husband.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. I'm trying to get her my legs for my speed man. Stacey. Ooh. Stacey. Is that trans march just in DC, or is it out here tomorrow too? The trans march. It's only going in DC, right? It's not one out here. Oh, I can't. I'm on the phone. Use your blue fish. Go to Nadia fish. You take Nadia? Oh, I don't know. I do believe. I think that was somehow faithful.
Okay. I can Google it when I get off the phone. I'm just curious.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I
Okay.
thought so. I mean, I thought it was. I mean, oh,
Okay.
all right.
Thank you. I don't have any more questions for you. Is there anything else that you want to say to the readers of the magazine?
Love yourself and be true to who you are. Because that's the only way you're ever going to be happy. But I had to learn that by fault, by trial and error.
If you haven't already, please check out my debut novel, A Love Like Blood, available on Amazon. Check the pinned comment for the link. Besos.